Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well. Now I get messages every single week from people who are confused as to which metal detector they should get, whether they're a beginner and they want their first machine, or whether they're a bit more experienced and they want to upgrade what they've got already. So hopefully this video is going to cut through some of that confusion and give you a bit of a steer as to where you should take your metal detecting journey next. I'm Adam, these are my metal detectors, and this video, I hope, is going to help you. Welcome to D-Tekt Sussex. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this video and helping you decide on either your first or your next metal detector for your metal detecting adventures. Now, before we get stuck in, I want to just cover a little bit of housekeeping. If you're brand new to the channel, first of all, hello, my name's Adam. I've run the D-Tekt Sussex YouTube channel now for over 4 years. Every single week I go out with one of my machines for a hunt, and I do a hunt and I record it and I stick it on YouTube for you to watch and enjoy. And occasionally I'll do videos like this, I'll do tutorials and help videos to try and help people out as well. Now I am a member of the Nomads, that's the Nokta Master Detectorists. It's Nokta's field team, worldwide field team. So I'm not contracted by Nokta. I'm not required to make this video or any other video by Nokta. Essentially, I like the Nokta machines. Nokta like my videos, and so they send me the gear and I use them in my videos. The machines I'm going to go through today are all going to be Nokta machines, but the features will be available on other brands as well. So the most important thing to me is that you go away with a machine that you're happy with and you enjoy using and you enjoy the hobby. Okay, if you have any questions about the Nokta machines that I'm going through in this video, please drop them down in the comments down below, or send me a message on either the Facebook or the Instagram page, and I'll always do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can with some answers. But today, obviously, I'm going to be looking at the Nokta machines because that's what I have, that's my experience. I'm going to be going through all the machines I have here, and also 2 new machines that are going to be coming out very, very shortly. And no matter what situation you're in, you should be able to find one of these machines fits your needs. So, with all that said, let's get into it. Okay, so what are some of the things you need to consider when you're choosing your next metal detector? Well, one of the first things you're going to think about is going to be cost, especially if you're brand new to the hobby. If you're not sure if this hobby is going to be something you're doing long term, there's going to be a real temptation to try and buy something very, very cheap just to see if you're going to get used to it. There are sites out there, Wish, Temu, even Amazon, where you can buy machines for 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. And they claim to be, you know, amazing performance and treasure hunting machines and find treasure and all this kind of stuff. Generally speaking, if you're spending less than about 150 to 200 pounds on a machine, especially in the beginner range, then you're not going to be getting a machine that's going to perform particularly well, and you're more likely to give up the hobby quicker because you're not getting on with the machine. These machines are very cheaply made and they do not perform very well at all. Try to look at the 150 to 200 pound range if you're looking at your first machine. And again, I'm going to show some of these off in a minute so you can get an idea of what you can get for that kind of money. But go with a recognized brand. Nokta, Garrett, Minelab, XP and others. Find some of the recognized brands, the big manufacturers, and make sure you get one of those, because then you know you're going to be getting something quality and not something that's extremely cheap and nasty. So there's the first thing on cost. Make sure you're spending enough on the detector, especially if it's your first one. The next thing to consider is going to be your personal experience. Are you a beginner? Have you ever used a machine before? Or have you been metal detecting for 50 years and owned every machine there ever has been? Okay, think about it. Where do you sit on that spectrum? Are you brand new? Are you very experienced? Are you somewhere in between? If you're brand new to the hobby, there are a lot of machines out there on the high end of the hobby, if you can afford them, which will be too complicated for you to start with. Okay, and I'll mention this as I go through, but there was at least one machine in the range of machines you'll see here that I was not ready for when I got it. Okay, It's a learning journey which will take several years to learn the ins and outs of metal detecting, how it works, what the various different functions and features do, and to gain that experience. So if you are a beginner, I would suggest don't go for a high-end machine. It's not to say you can't, not to say that people don't. You know, some people are complete beginners, they go for a high-level machine and they get on fine. But generally speaking, if you're new to it, get yourself a simple entry-level machine that is going to be easy for you to learn, easy for you to use, and that you're going to get a few years of use out of before then upgrading to something a little bit more high spec. Okay, the next thing to consider is going to be location. Where are you going to be metal detecting? Okay, are you going to be detecting on farmers' fields? Are you going to be detecting on parkland, pasture land, on the beach, wet sand, dry sand? All sorts of different locations where you can detect. Obviously, make sure you get the appropriate permissions for the areas that you're going to be detecting in. But the location you detect in, the type of land, can affect quite seriously the machine that you get. I'm going to cover a few more of the technical aspects of this later on, but things like whether you get a single frequency machine or a simultaneous multi-frequency machine, some of those machines are better in certain conditions than others. So just bear that in mind. Where are you going to be detecting? That can have a big impact on the machine that you buy. One additional thing I'm going to throw in on the end of this list is your own level of technical comfort. How tech savvy are you? You could be an experienced metal detectorist, but you may be someone who doesn't like using computers. You may not have a smartphone. If you may just not like technology in general. If that's you, then it might be best if you go for a good performing but lower level machine, something a bit simpler and easier to use. Some of the more advanced machines can be a little bit daunting for people if you're not very tech savvy. On the other end of the spectrum, if you are very, very tech savvy and you don't mind learning the advanced parts of metal detecting quickly, you don't mind that steep learning curve, and you say you are tech savvy, then maybe something a higher level machine might be for you, even if you are a little bit newer to the hobby. So that's just another little thing to throw in for you to weigh up in your decision-making process. Okay, so those are some of the things you need to start thinking about early on when you're choosing your metal detector. Now I'm going to go through the machines and the various different types of machines and how they work in a moment. I'm going to be talking about frequencies quite a lot during the course of this video. And I know there's going to be a lot of beginners watching this, a lot of people who are very early on in their metal detecting journeys who may not understand exactly how things work. So just very briefly for you guys, I'm going to run through how a metal detector works and why the frequency of a machine is important. Hopefully this will be useful. So a metal detector essentially has two loops of metal coil inside the actual coil on the end of the machine. One of those loops is charged with electricity. And that produces an electromagnetic field, and that goes into the ground. That electromagnetic field will have a particular frequency measured in kilohertz. Now, if a metal object passes within that field, the particles, the electrons specifically, inside that metal are stimulated. Okay, they start to move, move differently, move more, and that generates its own electromagnetic field, which the other loop in the coil then picks up. Okay, it's a little bit technical, apologize for that, but that's basically how it works. The machine puts an electromagnetic field into the ground, it stimulates the electrons inside the metal, and that then gives off a new signal, which the machine then picks up and then interprets in the boxes. Gives you a particular sound, gives you a VDI number or a scale indicator to give you an idea as to what it might be under the ground. Now, the reason frequency is important is each metal will have its own, I'm going to call it a resonant frequency. I'm a musician, so that's going to make more sense to me. So if you imagine an opera singer and a wine glass, we've all seen opera singers break wine glasses just by singing particular notes. How that works is the wine glass will have its own resonant frequency, and as the opera singer goes up in pitch, they will get closer and closer and closer to the resonant frequency of that glass, and as they get closer, the glass will start to vibrate, maybe start to sing a little bit itself, produce its own sound. And that's basically how the metal detector works in terms of picking up metal. And as they hit that resonant frequency, they match the resonant frequency of that glass, the glass shatters. Now, in the metal detecting equivalent to the glass shattering is you getting an absolutely banging signal. Okay, really loud, really proud, you know it's there, it's really, really clear. That is, you've hit that target likely with either the best frequency for that target or something very close to it. It doesn't have to be exact with this, can be close, can be a few frequencies out. Now, if you've got a metal detector that say puts 15 kilohertz into the ground, that's a middle of the road kind of frequency, maybe slightly above middle of the road. And you've got a machine that maybe puts 11 or 12 kilohertz into the ground, you're still going to find the same stuff, okay? But if the resonant frequency, I'm going to use that term, of the metal is closer to 15, then the machine that's using 15 kilohertz will hit it a bit harder than the one that's using 12. Hopefully that makes sense. The further away you are, the less convincing the sound is going to be. Okay, that's a single frequency, and when we get onto multi-frequency machines later, they're putting multiple frequencies into the ground, so you've got more chance of one of those frequencies being spot on or very close to the target that you're finding. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense, a little bit of technical stuff. Let's start looking at some of these machines and hopefully give you an idea of what you might want to start looking at next. Okay, so one thing you might want to think about when you're looking at which detector to buy is whether you want to buy a brand new machine, shiny out of the box, or whether you want to get something secondhand. If you're happy with something secondhand, quite often you can get a really, really nice machine for less money than you pay for an equivalent new. So we're going to start off with this machine here. This is one of the early machines that I had. This is the Simplex Plus. I'll try and show you the screen if I can, give you an idea of the layout of the buttons. I'm going to be putting some footage up on the screen so you can see the machines in a bit more detail as well. So this is the Simplex Plus. It operates on a frequency of 12 kilohertz. There'll be some tech spec on the screen as well as I'm talking. Now this is one of the early machines that I had. It is an absolute powerhouse. It's designed as a beginner's machine, but it's also designed to have the performance that someone more experienced will enjoy. So if you are a complete beginner to metal detecting, you're looking for your first machine, the Simplex Plus is a very, very good option for you. It's easy to use, easy to understand, and it's very lightweight as well. It telescopes down. All the machines you'll see today will telescope down to a very small size, so you can fit it in the boot or in a bag for traveling out with it. And it is an absolute powerhouse. Honestly, I found so much with this machine over the course of the last few years. It's 100% waterproof, it is solidly robust, and the 12 kilohertz frequency is a really good frequency for finding most of the stuff you're going to be finding with it. Relic hunting, coin hunting, jewelry hunting. You should find it with the Simplex Plus. So a fantastic option if you're starting out, and as I say, these are not in production anymore, so you can find a good price secondhand for these, then it's a really, really good option, especially as I say, if you're looking at the second-hand market. So that's the Simplex Plus. The other one I've got here, which might be fitting into the second-hand market side of things, is this. This is the Nokta Anfibio. There's the screen. There's another machine which I think is starting to go out of production, which is the Cruiser. I don't have that, I've not used that, so I can't speak too much about it, but this is the Anfibio. It used to be the highest level metal detector that Nokta did for general relic and coin and jewelry hunting. It's pretty hefty, it's pretty heavy. It is very, very complicated to use. So this is not what I would consider to be a beginner's machine. When I got this machine, I wasn't ready for it. I'd been using the Simplex for a year or two, and this was a big, big jump for me. I'm okay with it now. I've learned more and I've used other machines. But yeah, this was a massive jump for me. So there's a little bit of a learning point there for anyone who is a beginner who might be looking at an ultra complicated machine. I would say definitely go for something a bit simpler just to start with, and then you can upgrade to a more serious machine a little bit later on. But like all these machines, it's rechargeable, it's waterproof, it telescopes down to a very small size for transport. The operation actually is quite simple, but there are a lot of options on the screen. Hopefully you can see that in the footage I'm putting up on the screen. There are a lot of menu options, a lot of things to tweak and change on the machine, but it is incredibly powerful and incredibly good. I love using this machine now. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, but it does show you the kind of thing you can get. So the Simplex Plus, originally that was the late 200s in price range. You can get them second hand now for 150, 200 pounds, that kind of thing. The Anfibio originally was late 700s, early 800s in price. You can still get them brand new for 700 odd pounds. Second hand, you could probably expect to pay maybe 400 or 500 pounds for the Anfibio. So that gives you an idea of where that price point is. If you're not a beginner and you're looking to upgrade, the Anfibio second hand would probably be a really, really good choice for you to look at. The other thing I didn't mention is it is selectable frequency. It has three different frequencies that you can select on the machine. So again, you can pick the frequency that's going to be resonating best with the type of fines that you're hoping to get. Okay, so that's the second-hand market. Let's look at some of the more up-to-date and newer machines that you might want to buy if you want to buy something brand new. Okay, so moving on to the newer machines. So I mentioned the Simplex Plus is a really good beginner machine. I'm wearing the t-shirt. I love the Simplex Plus. I became quite an expert on that machine when I was using it, and you may have seen my Simplex Plus tips and tricks video. If you haven't and you want to look at the Simplex Plus, or you've got Simplex Plus, check that out. A very popular video. A lot of people have learned a lot from that video. But recently they've come out with a new generation of Simplex. I mentioned that the Simplex Plus is now discontinued. The new generation Simplex came out earlier this year. There are three models of the new generation Simplex. There's the Lite, there's the BT or Bluetooth, and then there is the Simplex Ultra, which is the one I use. And there are three different levels, three different price points. Now I've got my notes here. I'm going to just quickly read off the prices to give you an idea. So the Simplex Lite comes in at about £189. This is as of October 2023. The Simplex BT, the middle one, is £279. And then the Ultra, which is this one, comes in at about £329 or £399 if you go for the Bluetooth headphones with it. So what are they? What are the differences? Why would you buy them? So the Simplex Lite is essentially I'm going to put my notes down. Essentially a turn on and go machine. There's not many settings on it at all. It doesn't have Bluetooth headphone connectivity. It's a very stripped down version of the original Simplex. All of the new machines have a 15 kilohertz as opposed to a 12 kilohertz frequency field. The Lite, as I say, is just a turn on and go. So if you are completely brand new and you don't want to spend £300-400 on your new machine, then the Simplex Lite is probably going to be the one for you. If you're someone who just wants a metal detector to throw in the boot and use 2 or 3 times a year, maybe on holiday or when the grandkids come round, then the Simplex Lite is probably going to be a good one for you. Something you're just going to use occasionally, very casual usage. The Simplex Lite is the one. The Simplex BT is the modern equivalent of the older Simplex Plus. It has very similar sets of settings on there, very similar usage. As with all the new machines, it's lighter. That does have Bluetooth connectivity. The original Simplex had just a wireless thing. So on the new machines, you can use any headphones that you like for them, as long as they're Bluetooth and as long as they're low latency. So they're lighter, the control boxes are thinner. But yeah, the BT is essentially the same as the old Simplex. So if you want the modern, updated version of the original Simplex, the Simplex BT is the one for you. And if you are a little bit more experienced, or if you're happy to have a steeper learning curve and learn a few more settings, the Simplex Ultra is going to be a really good one to look at. You've got extra features, extra settings. You can change the recovery speed. You've got lots of different discrimination settings on there. It is an absolutely superb machine. And if the other machines in the Simplex range are anything like the Ultra is, and I think they probably are, they are an absolute coin magnet. Go and check out my playlist for the Simplex the Simplex Ultra machine. Check out the videos of the hunts and those, and you'll hear me say it a lot. It is a coin magnet. Now, for all of these machines that I'm showing you today, there will be multiple coils available. The Simplex Plus and the new Simplex range all have multiple coils available. There's the this one, which I've got on the end of it here. Obviously, you'll get the stock coil, which is an 11-inch coil. You've got this one on here, which is elliptical. This is the SX24, it's the SP24 on the Simplex Plus. Very popular coil for trashy locations. If you're in parks or on the beach, it's very stable and very, very precise and accurate. You can unmask objects that are close to large chunks of iron, for example. It'll pick out the really good targets around that. Obviously, it's a bit smaller, so you'll get a little bit less coverage, but really good option for a coil if you're doing trashy areas. I'm going to get up and grab another coil actually off the floor. The other size coil you'll have available for these is the 35. So the SP35 for the Simplex Plus, or the SX35 for the Ultra and the BT and those machines. Massive, massive coil. Not quite as precise as the smaller elliptical coil, but these go very, very, very deep indeed. So if you're looking at farmers' fields, somewhere that's not got a lot of trash, but you want to cover a lot of distance and you want to go deep, the bigger coils are available for these machines. So there we go. That is the Simplex new generation range. So extremely lightweight, folds down very, very small, so you can chuck it in the boot. And yeah, extremely robust, all 100% waterproof, and really, really good. So those are some features to look at if you're at the newer end of the metal detecting spectrum, or if you want an inexpensive, good high-end machine. This is going to be a good high-end single frequency machine for you to look at, and the Simplex Ultra. Cool. Let's move on to the next machines. Okay, so let's move on from the single frequency machines to the simultaneous multi-frequency options. So single frequency machines, as I discussed earlier, put a single frequency in, and the closer they are, that frequency is to the resonant frequency of the target you're hunting for, the better the signal, the better the response you're going to get. Simultaneous multi-frequency machines put multiple frequencies into the ground at the same time, which means there's more likelihood that one of those frequencies is going to be close to or dead on the ideal frequency for the target that you've got under the coil. So you're basically, with a simultaneous multi-frequency machine, or an SMF, as I'm going to start calling it from here on in, because it's a bit of a mouthful. With an SMF machine, you will find more stuff more reliably, you will find it deeper, and it will be more stable in mineralized areas. So mineralized land, especially if you're down sort of the southwest of England, you tend to get quite a lot of mineralized soil down there, a lot of iron in the soil, but also on the beaches. Salt water, salty sand, wet sand. So the single frequency machines can do quite well on the beach. I use the Simplex Plus and the Simplex Ultra on the beach. They are fantastic beach machines. I'm not going to take any nonsense from anyone telling me these are not good beach machines, but you do have to take the ground balance manually down to 0. Okay, you will still get the odd little chirp here and there. All right, you will get a little bit of chatter, but they are perfectly good on the beach if you set them up correctly. With the simultaneous multi-frequency machines, they tend to be more stable in those locations just by default, and then you can tune them a little bit further using the settings on the particular machine that you have. Now, there's a couple of model names that we're going to look at. The first is the Score. Okay, the Score is coming out soon. It's not out just yet. I got to play with one of the late stage prototypes at Detector this year. It looks absolutely fantastic. Same chassis as the Simplex Ultra, nice and lightweight, nice and strong, 100% waterproof. And it's coming out in 2 different versions. There's the Score and there's the Score 2, or the double Score, I think they're calling it as well. And they are for different levels of detectorists. So the Score, the basic one, which is the green one, that is simultaneous multi-frequency, but it is very, very cut down. There are no real settings on there to think about beyond the basics of things like sensitivity. There's no ground balancing, there's no recovery speed adjustment, that kind of thing. It is just turn on and off you go. Turn on and go, that's it, right? No messing about. So if you're going to be a casual detectorist, but you're going to be doing a lot of beach hunting, or you want the benefits of simultaneous multi-frequency on land, or if you just want something that you're going to be using occasionally, or something that's just dirt simple to use, the Score, the basic Score, is going to be a really good option for you to hold out for. The Score 2, the double Score, is a lot more like the Simplex Ultra. It's going to have a lot more settings on it, recovery speed, ground balancing, and a lot more discrimination options as well. So that'll be a bit more for the more experienced users or the more regular users. Essentially, it's a Simplex Ultra, but it's simultaneous multi-frequency. There may be a few variations in the settings, but that's essentially the conception behind the machine. So again, if you're a casual user and you want simultaneous multi-frequency, the Score. If you're looking at something a bit more regular, a bit more serious, then look at the Score 2. Those are coming out soon. We don't have a release date just yet, but stay tuned over the next couple of months, and hopefully we'll get some more news as to when they're coming out. They are very close to being ready based on the machines that I played with at Detector this year, and they're looking at making them below the £500 price point. Okay, so if you're looking at a good mid-range but low-priced SMF, this is going to be absolutely fantastic and 100% waterproof. So really, really good option for people who are looking in that area. And now let's head on to look at the top of our pyramid at the Legend. So now we're looking at the Legend. This is currently the top of the pyramid for general relic hunting. Relic and coins and jewelry hunting. It is simultaneous multi-frequency. It came out about 1.5 years ago. I love this machine. This is my main machine. This is the machine I would use by choice anytime I go out. all these machines are fantastic and I enjoy using them all, but the Legend is just the top end of what I own. It is simultaneous multi-frequency. There are various frequency sets you can choose. You can also choose a whole range of single frequencies on here as well. So you can switch between single frequencies, and there's 3 levels of multi-frequency on here at the moment. There's all sorts of other adjustments on there. You've got iron filter, you've got bottle cap rejection, you've got ground suppression, noise cancellation. There is so much on this machine. It is the top end. Is in the £700 range. Let me just grab my notes again so I can give you an exact idea. So the basic model of this without headphones is around about the £600 mark or just under. And if you want it with the headphones, it's about 690. So £600 to £700 essentially for this machine. Super lightweight, 100% waterproof, as with all these machines. Rechargeable. Super robust, super brilliant, and a whole range of coils. More coils for this than any of the others. You've got the 24, the LG 24, the elliptical coil I showed you, and also the big 35, LG 35 coil. The newer models come with the LG 30 coil. I'll just collapse this down and show you that. So these are the new models. This come same inside the box. They come with the elliptical LG 30 coil, which is a brilliant all-round coil for all locations. And it also comes with, if I can just grab it, the option for this coil, which is the LG 15 coil. It's a brilliant sniper coil. You can use it on the beach, in parks, that kind of thing, highly trashy areas, but also it's really good for using in stubble fields and places where you need smaller coil to get in between obstacles. So yeah, a really wide range of coils available for the Legend. If you're interested in the different coils for the Legend, I do have a video on the channel where I do a depth comparison for all 5 available coils for the Legend. So you can go through and check those out. But yeah, fantastic machine. I would suggest, respectfully, if you are a beginner, don't look at the Legend straight away. That's not to say a beginner can't go on this, and people who are beginners do use this. But I think if you are a complete novice to the hobby, go for something like the Simplex, go for something a bit more basic than this. I think this will be a little bit too complicated. If I'd started on this, I probably wouldn't have been in the hobby very long. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I love this machine. It's brilliant. It's found me all sorts of things. It's found me my amazing Roman coin earlier this year at the Spring Detectable, and it found me my first ever hammered coin this year, and all sorts of other amazing things, silver on the beach, that kind of stuff. So I love this machine. But yeah, if you're a bit more experienced and you're looking to upgrade from what you've got already, the Legend is definitely one I would strongly recommend. So let's do a little bit of an overview of everything I've covered today, and yeah, hopefully give you a bit of an idea of what your machine might be that you're going to get next. Okay, so quick summary then, looking at the machines we've got. We've got the Simplex Plus, which you'll only be able to get secondhand now. They've been discontinued. Fantastic machine, really great performer. You can get a really, really good price on these now, now that they are going to be all secondhand. If you're happy with a secondhand machine, you want something that's dead easy to use, really easy to learn. If you're an absolute beginner, or maybe you've been away from the hobby for a little bit, or maybe you've been using an even more basic machine and you want something with a bit more bite, then the Simplex Plus is going to be a really, really good option for you on the second-hand market. Also on the second-hand market, if you're more experienced user and you're looking to upgrade, you've got the Anfibio. Extremely powerful, quite bulky, quite heavy, but although not too bad. But a lot of settings, a lot of things you can tweak and really fine-tune this machine for the location you're in. 3 different frequencies you can select, but as I said, a lot of different options. So if you are brand new, probably not for you. But if you are more experienced and looking to upgrade, that is going to be an awesome option for you. If you're looking for something which is a little bit more on the lower end of the price bands, and something if you're a beginner, go for the Simplex Lite or the Simplex BT. If you want something a little bit more advanced on the same kind of lines, then the Simplex Ultra is a fantastic option. Again, very, very easy to use, very easy to learn. With the Ultra, you've got a few more, slightly more advanced settings on there, so you can tweak things a little bit more to your needs. But these are fantastic machines for all users. I don't think I mentioned it earlier, the word Simplex comes from the word simple, as in simple to use, and experts. So it's powerful enough for the experts, simple enough for beginners, powerful enough for experts. That's the whole point of calling it the Simplex. Lots of coils available for all of these machines, as I said. You've got the scores, which are coming out very soon, which are going to be very, very well priced simultaneous multi-frequency machines below £500. The score is going to be a turn on and go. The score 2 is going to be a bit more adjustable like the Simplex Ultra. And then you've got the top of the line, the Nokta Legend, the top of the range simultaneous multi-frequency machine in the Nokta range. Yeah, so any questions on any of the machines, or any questions on which machine would be best for you, which type of machine would be best for you? If this video hasn't answered it for you, or you need a bit more information, please drop me a message either in the comments down below or on my Facebook or Instagram pages. I'm checking them all the time, and I'll be very happy to give you a bit more information. Don't forget, check the features I've given you on these machines against other machines out there if you're looking around at other brands as well, and hopefully I'll give you an idea of what the price differences are and the features that you can get for the machines. Okay, so I really hope you found that video helpful, at least in part, if not in full, in showing you the types of machines that are available and the types of detectorists that might be going for each one of the different types of machines on the market. Make sure you go to a reputable dealer if you're buying brand new. Some of them do second-hand machines as well. Also, if you're going to a dealer, look out for bundle deals. Quite often you'll get a machine and you can have the pinpointer, trowel, digging tool, spade, that kind of thing, all bundled into one deal, and it'll be cheaper than buying all the options separately. So if you're looking at starting out especially, those kind of bundle deals are really, really good to look out for. But yeah, whatever you choose, whether it be one of the Nokta range or another brand, just make sure it's a reputable brand, whether it be a Nokta range or another brand. I wish you the best of luck in your metal detecting journey, whether you're starting out or continuing. If you have any questions or comments whatsoever, please pop them down in the comment section down below, or send me a message on my Facebook or Instagram pages. You can follow me on there as well. And if you're not yet subscribed to D-Tekt Sussex, what are you doing? You'll get videos like this and hunt videos every single week in your inbox. Just hit the subscribe button, it's free to you, and you'll be able to get those videos ready to watch every single week. Have yourselves a truly fantastic week, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Take care.